What's up YouTube, it's your man WoX Official, and in today's video, I'm talking about the Mustang GTD, also known as GTD or known as Ford Mustang GTD. Now what is that? We're going to get into what this car is and what makes it so special. It's truly a really special car, but before we get to that, I want to thank everybody for subscribing to my channel and just commenting and interacting with the Mustang GTD video that I released earlier in the channel. That video has pretty much blown up and it's forced me to come out with this video, which, sorry for the delay guys. I'm glad y'all stuck with me and stayed here, but I got some content for you guys about this car. So let's get to it. So the Mustang GTD, a lot of people are upset about this car. A lot of people are excited about it. I am very excited about the car and you should be also. But let me tell you why some people are upset. The people are upset about the car because it does have a hefty price tag of $300,000. Now, this isn't just any ordinary Mustang. This car is supposed to release in 2025, but it's looking like it's going to be available to the public on maybe late 2024. Go check out Ford's website if you want to see those details. I'll leave the link in the description so you can see it for yourself. But this car, guys, it's absolutely amazing car. It's a street legal race car. Now, yes, it does have the name Mustang, but another car that you should think of when you see this car is the Ford GT. That is this car's successor, in my opinion. I feel like that is what this car should have been. It just has the name Mustang on it, and it has the image Mustang. We know Mustang is very legendary with Ford, so that's what Ford is doing to keep moving and keep the momentum. Everybody loves Mustangs, and if you don't love Mustangs, you could be considered a hater. They just perform well, and this is going to be a GT3 race car. They've already developed and done a ton of research on it. I'm still waiting for the Nuremberg lap time, guys. I know I'm excited to see that. Some of you guys want to prove the car wrong and say that it's not going to be a good car. I think it's going to be a very good car, and we're going to see the track times and see what it does. They're aiming for a sub 7-minute time, which is extremely fast for the car. But let's go ahead and dive into some other things about this car which makes it so special. Now, coming in at what makes this car great is the carbon fiber body. It almost sounds like Ford got this from Lexus with the LFA. That car had a carbon fiber body as well, which was extremely light. That car was very slept on. Most people have no idea what that car is now, which that is an amazing car that's been slept on that most Americans and people in general just don't know about. But we're talking about the Mustang GTD, so we'll get back to that other car in a later time. But this Mustang GTD has a carbon fiber body, which this is going to make the car extremely light. So all of the doubters and non-believers in the comment section, you guys can go do some research of your own and look at the stats when it finally does release how much the car weighs. So this is a GT3 race car. This car is going to be super light, and super light is that with these magnesium wheels that Ford gave this car. Now, the magnesium wheels are extremely lightweight and they're very durable.
Let us know what you think. Oh wow. Super lightweight.
I would not expect that from a set of wheels at all, but they're extremely light and durable. So that gives this car the 50-50 distribution. Well, actually, it's not just that, but it's going to be with the transaxle that this car is going to have. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Now, what is a transaxle for those who may not know? It's basically a 3-in-1, and to break that down, a 3-in-1, it means it includes the transmission, axle, and differential of the car. It's all one thing, so they're all connected pretty much, and that's going to be on mid-engine cars, and some cars that are rear engine have this as well. So that is what a transaxle is. If you still don't know what that is, you may want to go ahead and Google or use whatever search engine to check it out, but that's a quick summary of what a transaxle is, and that plays a huge factor in this car having the 50-50 weight distribution, which helps this car handle greatly, and obviously it's going to help it perform on the track, and this car will perform. So it's going to be exciting to see, and we haven't even talked about the motor yet. Imagine a lightweight car with 50-50 distribution, and we haven't even talked about the motor or the power. Now, going to that motor, let's go ahead and flip over to the next one. That's a beautiful looking engine. Now, I know some of you guys were guessing in the last video saying that it was a GT350 5.2 liter motor with a supercharger slapped on top of it. Sorry to inform you guys, but that is not correct and not true. Now, don't be let down too much. This is the GT500 motor in the Mustang that we have right now in the 2022 GT500. Now, in the 2022 GT500, that motor was a 5.2 liter supercharged V8 that produced about 760 horsepower. Actually 760 exactly is what Ford said it made. They probably made a little bit more, knowing Ford, because they often, downplay their numbers. But hey, we love that as consumers and people who own the vehicles. Now, looking at the Ford Mustang GTD, this car has an output of more than 800 horsepower. So we got the same engine. We have pretty much a reinforced engine, in my opinion, and a better tune is what it's going to come down to giving you those horses. And you have an 8-speed dual clutch gearbox with this car. You do have paddle shifters on there, and it will have more than 800 horsepower, more than 8. Now, 0 to 60 times have not been released yet. Ford is keeping that number classified, which I'm all for it. It'd be interesting to see what this car does and just see it perform on the racetrack. Obviously, there's going to be doubters and people who want to just talk about numbers, but let's actually see the car move in action. But what do you guys think about that number, the horsepower? Over 800 horsepower for a GT3 race car, and pretty much a car that you can buy and have on the road. So looking like a great car on paper, that's what we see for the Mustang GTD. Now, Ford did really take it seriously with going to the next level. So they did have the magnesium wheels, which I told you and showed you are super light. And looking at the carbon fiber body panels and also carbon fiber brakes, which are super light as well. The drive shaft on this car is going to be carbon fiber, you guessed it. And this car has another feature called Active Aero. Let's take a quick dive into what is Active Aero and how can it help this car. Now, getting into what is Active Aero. Active Aero, as you can see in this photo, it has to do with the wind hitting your car. Aerodynamics, hint the name Active Aero. So Active Aero, there's lots of parts on cars, including this one, body panels, and just a whole bunch of parts on this car. Unmentionable, to be honest, guys, but we're just going to stay on topic with the spoiler. So this spoiler is an Active Aero spoiler. The technology with Active Aero is an older technology, but not all cars have this. If you look back at the 2013 Bugatti Veyron, it had Active Aero, and a lot of Porsches had that, or Porsche is how they're pronounced, have that as well. Now, what Active Aero does when the spoiler and other body parts as well, it's going to adapt to how you're driving. It has been exactly engineered to adapt to how you're driving, just like in Formula One racing. So let's say you're on the circuit or at a track, doing a top speed run down the straightaway. It's going to reduce the drag and let the air flow freely, so you are maximizing your speed. But if you need some downforce when coming down to a turn, maybe you're going down the hill in the turn too, things happen. It's going to shift and give you more drag, which the drag is going to give you downforce and extra weight on those back tires, which will help the car. And honestly, Active Aero can be on car parts all the way from the front just to let the air flow through freely and sort of flow with the car and not fight the car. But it has been engineered to improve the driving experience. Now with the suspension on this car, the suspension has been worked on and touched. That's all I'm going to say about the suspension. If you guys want more in depth with that, I'll create another video if you guys want. But this is already a long video, and I have a clip for you guys, a sound clip of this Ford car. I'm not quite sure what car this is from Ford. I'm not certain if it's the GTD. I don't think it is, but clearly Ford's got something up their sleeve. So go ahead and listen to this and tell me what you think it is or what they might be coming with. So that's going to conclude this video. If you like the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Also, if you want to see some Mustang GTD content or just other car content, leave me a comment and subscribe to the channel. Welcome to the channel. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Don't forget to check out my playlist on YouTube. It's your man Wo, and I'm out. Peace.